One of the coolest vintage decks of all time is CounterVine. Maybe with flow states slowing down the format, it's time to get back to vining. Okay, welcome back, vintage gamers, to a Saturday afternoon challenge. We are 5/23/26, 2 weekends away from NYSE and the biggest prizing vintage event of the year. There is a lot of metagame ebb and flow right now with flow state. It is changing a lot, actually. It's somehow a stronger card than I thought it was going to be, and I was kind of on the higher side of most people's initial evaluations of the card. I do think it took a little bit of reframing and understanding where and how it's good for the card to see solid play. But now that people have kind of figured out that the FLS shell and using Lorians and off-colored Moxen seems to be the best way to incorporate like turn 1 interaction with turn 1 Lorian to facilitate early flow states, and also as a way to like rebuy cards after you've cast forces. People have figured that shell out now, and it's interesting to see the results of that shell, because the results of that shell are not all sunshine and roses here. I do think that having the flow states in your deck makes you better in all your blue matchups, which is really good. But I do think the flow states also make you worse into your linear non-blue decks, decks that are more aggressive, decks that are doing a thing more, especially decks that are doing a thing that's not as stack dependent. And you're actually seeing right now in the data huge surges in Initiative, Sphere Shops, Raker Shops, Jewel. You're seeing these kind of decks actually really flourishing in the flow state metagame, because all the flow state players are trying to beat each other up by being more, redundant blue, and in turn they're making their decks worse against linear non-blue decks. So that's where we're at right now. So it's gonna be really interesting, because NYC is a historically very blue heavy format. It's a proxy event and it's a proxy event in New York, which is a very blue heavy metagame in paper. It's a deck, it's a metagame that can feature a bunch of shops. There's like a shops contingent for sure in that area. But it'll be interesting to see, because it doesn't translate over necessarily from Magic Online or from sanctioned paper to proxy paper. A lot of people are interested in playing that full power blue deck in proxy paper. So lots of things to consider coming into NYC. Today, we're going to do something a little bit off the beaten path. This is a deck that was extremely good many years ago, but has recently not been as prevalent in the metagame. Very low meta share, and when it does see play, it doesn't usually do incredibly well. And that's mostly due to metagame shifts and a little bit about the format being a little bit more powerful than it was before. And that's CounterVine. So if you've never seen this deck play before, it's really one of the coolest decks, I think, in Vintage. It is at its core a manaless Delver deck, if that makes sense. Our deck is a mulligan to Bazaar deck, so you are not keeping any openers for the most part that don't have Bazaar. You're going to augment that with Serum Powder. And what we're going to do is establish a draw engine with Bazaar plus Master of Deaths and Squee, Goblin of Bob. So basically, we're going to use these cards that return from our upkeep every turn to offset the card disadvantage of Bazaar, and then find different ways to utilize Bazaar to play free creatures. So we have free hollow ones after you've activated Bazaar once. You have free 8 Root Wallas when you pitch them to Bazaar. And those cards are going to bring back Vengevines. And so basically we're playing hollow ones, Root Wallas, and Vengevines, and protecting them with all of the free counter magic that Vintage has to offer. Negations, traps, wills, vigors, and also a little bit of a tempo wasteland plan. So attack your opponent's mana and try to kill them with 4 power creatures. It's a really cool deck. It's a really frustrating deck to be on the other side of, but I find a very fun deck to pilot and to make videos with. It just, like I said, hasn't been a big metagame staple in a very long time. Sideboard, I've included 6 pieces of Dredge Hate, 6 pieces of Removal. One of the other problems that has come up that has caused CounterVine to not be as widely played is Orcish Bowmaster. Orcish Bowmaster is a card that this deck hates to see. It doesn't want to go anywhere near an Orcish Bowmaster. Pyrokinesis helps a little bit in that sense, but Bowmaster and, in general, Lurrus Frog being one of the best policing decks of the format was one of the reasons this deck has fallen off, because Bowmaster plus Wasteland plus Lurrus with graveyard looping spell bombs and stuff, it's very hard to deal with. So that kind of deck is actually a little bit on the downturn. Frogs have had a little bit of a hard time beating up on the, like I said, the non-linear or the linear blue decks or the linear non-blue decks as they try to like include flow state to beat the blue decks. And so, you can only play 60 cards in a deck for the most part. And if you're cutting cards, and trying to include flow states and stock ups, a lot of times Orcish Bowmaster is one of the cards that's going to get cut. It's not always the best card. It's kind of like either a very good card or a dead card. So, a smaller Bowmaster count might make this deck a little bit better as well. I have a Caracas for Atraxas and for Lurruses to some extent. And then we're going to try out some Petrified Hamlets in the sideboard. Petrified Hamlet is a card that Bazaar players were really mad about because it was good against their deck, theoretically. If you play this on the play, you name Bazaar of Baghdad, and then the Bazaar's off, and they have to actually play Wastelands to counteract it. I, however, have not really thought this card is actually that good against Bazaar. It's only great against Bazaar on the play. On the draw, it's a little bit not so much. And, having to play a colorless land for turn is a big cost. I am interested, however, in its application as an anti-Wasteland card in Bazaar. So if I'm playing against a matchup that's very Wasteland dependent, and I go turn 1 Hamlet, naming Wasteland, then my Bazaar is protected from maybe the deck's main way of interacting with my Bazaar, and that might be interesting. I don't know if that's actually good. This is more of a test than anything. I know that Bazaar Aficionado Fire Truck had a video with it. I did not get to watch the whole video. I know he took it from the main and put it back in the board, which I think makes much more sense anyways. But I'm willing to give it a shot. So this will be a vintage challenge, a Saturday vintage challenge with CounterVine in 2026. I'll see you in round 1. I am happy to announce the dates for high-stakes, proxy-friendly vintage in 2026. The legendary NYSE returns to Long Island in New York on June 6th. This $500 entry fee tournament will pay out 8 pieces of unlimited power. The Oklahoma Land Run returns in 2026 on July 10th through 12th at the Reed Convention Center in Oklahoma City. Play Friday Team Trios, Saturday Legacy for a Mox Sapphire, and Sunday Vintage for a Mox Emerald. Event links can be found in the description below. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. Okay, welcome to round 1 of this vintage challenge. We have a Bazaar in our opener. We've got Negation in our opener. We got Squeeze for card advantage. What more can you ask for? Opponent is on Dredge. Well, that is not good. I do think our matchup post-board is pretty solid, but pre-board it's going to be a problem. We do have a Wasteland, which is the one card I need to keep in this matchup, so... But, if opponent pitches any amount of solid dredging, it's going to be hard. Yep, they hit a Prized Amalgam, Icarid, and Golgari Grave Troll. Also, we can't negate a Noxious Revival, so it's going to be tough. It's just a really bad Game 1 matchup, so... Let's see. This Icarid's probably not coming back this turn, because it would have to eat the Prized Amalgam. So we're just going to get a natural Grave Troll, Dredge. There's still ways out of this one, for sure. Here comes a natural Grave Troll Dredge. Survey says... Creeping Chill, Stinkweed Imp. So they hit another Dredger. They hit a Creeping Chill, but not that bad for me overall, because they still won't be able to really eat for this Icarid. And now we're going to get going with our Bazaar. Another Wasteland. Okay, let's pitch Squee, Rootwalla. Cast a Root Walla. Cast Hollow One. Pass. Here comes probably no Icarid, and then another natural Imp Dredge. So we dredge 6 natural, and then we'll dredge 5 natural. Oh, they actually brought the Icarid back. They ate the Stinkweed Imp and brought the Icarid back to bring back Prized Amalgam. That's very confusing. And then natural draw. I guess they're going to try to go for pitching to hand size next. I don't know if I like that play very much from them. It's hard to know without knowing what's in their hand, but what is a 3/3 doing against my board? Stopping Root Wallas, I guess. They naturally drew a Noxious Revival. And I can't negate it. I think I am supposed to respond with a Bazaar activation and try to find a counterspell, even though it's bad value. Okay, well, I will pitch 3 Master of Deaths. I don't think I need to have a negation up. I don't think it does anything. Hollow One's a good draw, though. And I get to play a Wasteland now. So my opponent draws a Bazaar and then gets an activation, but they can't dredge before I Wasteland them. So not terrible for us, really. A powerful wizard would have played a second Bazaar here for me. They pitched Grave Troll, Thug, and Icarid. And then they're going to grief me, which, again, I don't have anything that really matters here unless they found a Hollow One or something. Hopefully they'll put a Squee in my yard. Unlucky. They did find a Hollow One. All right. Man, I found a Noxious on their 1 natural draw. That is not ideal for us. I'm going to draw first here and get my Masters back. They knew it was on the top. Type play. That's what they knew it. Smart play. All right, I'm gonna pay life to get all these back in my hand. I don't think it's worth leaving them in the yard. Another Root Walla. Let's see if we can find more information here first. There's a Vengevine. I'm gonna go with Squee, and Vengevine in the yard. Hold on to the Root Walla for next turn. I keep drawing negations instead of Force of Wills, which has been not great. And then this is fine. Oh, maybe I just go with 1 Hollow One. If I go with both Hollow Ones. How long do I have? They have 2 Icarids. I actually don't know that I can attack. With chills. I feel like I'm not allowed to attack here. I think I can wait. I think I can wait. I think I am the one in control at the moment with an active Bazaar and 2 Squeeze with a Vengevine still in my yard. I don't want to end up in a spot where I like get creeping chilled and get put in a really bad racing scenario. So here's creeping chill Narcomoeba and another Icarid. So yeah, I think I made the right play. And then here, I just have to probably block across the board. I could try to find another Vigor and wait, but I think I'd rather just do that. Maybe not. Maybe I'd rather have a hollow one in play so I can block Icarids. I don't know. I have a lot of gas, so. Kind of surprised I don't have another Bazaar yet. There's my other Bazaar. There's my counter magic. So still can't return Vengevine. But counter magic's pretty useless at this point. I think I was supposed to... This is not grid. This matchup's so hard. Game 1. They can't eat that many times at the moment. They have one thug left to dredge. They're gonna... Oh, they have an imp left. Okay, they have plenty of things left. Dredge 5. Just a shambling shell. Okay, that wasn't bad. And then this blocks are fine. We're just trying to preserve our life total to get to this Vengevine. Yeah, it makes sense for everything to come in here. Okay, just those two. I think I am still going to block, though. I'm like super worried about creeping shield, basically. And I also need to pay life to return my masters, which I don't know that I'm allowed to do. Let's see. I'm definitely returning Squee, but am I returning any or of these masters? What do I think about like an upkeep activation of Bazaar in response to these masters to see if we need to return them or not? I've never done that before, but it doesn't seem wrong here. I've never actually had a game where I cared about masters paying a life. I think I'm gonna tap Bazaar right now and see. Ah, Vengevine. 2 squeeze. I think so. I can put a hollow one back on top. That costs me life. I think I'm not returning these masters because these cards don't even. These cards are not even a big deal. So, am I returning? I think I am returning a hollow one though. Do I want to hold a root wall up for vigor? No, that's not really useful. All right, 2 Vengevines. And then everybody can go in. Sure. It's good that I found my second Bazaar there. And I think I just want this for blocking purposes. I think, unless they hit both chills, even if they hit both chills, I think we're just in the clear. Cool. Cool game. 2 amalgams. I mean, think I'm just past the point. I have so many dead cards. I don't think I need to bring any masters back. So right now, this attack is 10. I would need 2 vines to have a lethal attack here. I can guarantee 1 vine with a Noxious here. Does 1 vine change anything? It only does 14, right? But I would have to draw exactly Vine Rootwalla if I don't. I mean, I'm gonna do it anyways. Another Bazaar. All right. I will still go for 2 Rootwallas because these are great blockers here. And then 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 14 total damage after blocks. And then my opponent can bring back 1 Icarid. I might not be attacking all here is the only reason I'm saying this. I might just be attacking with no Rootwallas and just attacking with my 4s. Because it is still lethal. They have to block 1. They take 12. And then I have 4 blockers. All right, so Ley Lines and Ravenous Traps are coming in. And then negations are dead cards and traps are dead cards. It's not ideal. It's a lot of dead cards. Well, I don't think Hamlet does any good for us. Naming Bazaar might not be the best play. I mean, naming naming Bazaar after we put our things in play might be fine. But where'd my chalice actually go? Where is my chalice? Here it is. I guess it's just some Furies, right? I guess I'm not gonna be able to cast Force of Will with this, but maybe that's fine. All right. I think it's just this, and then our forces are not very good, but that's okay because they weren't very good anyways. Yeah, Fury triggers Vengevine. Okay. I keep. Chill. Chill. Powder. Am I waiting on this vigor? Probably not. Yeah, I can wait. Rewarded. Interesting. Oh, thanks, Yukon. Unfortunately, I can't trigger these Vengevines with Fury plus Rootwalla because Rootwalla is my red card. I think I'm just chilling. I'm just gonna take this. I have some life total to work with here. Okay. Come on, play a second hollow one. I know you want to. Stash. Another Bazaar. Okay. Not bad. What if I pitch one Rootwalla and get another Bazaar activation in? Do I worry about like a Rav Trap at all by having second Bazaar? I'm just gonna put 2 Rootwallas in. Am I playing out my Bazaar? Yeah. Just kind of both. Just felt like it. Wasteland. I don't even think I'm activating. I think it's fine. Sure. All right. Clean, bizarre victory. I'll take it. Okay, round 2, Vintage Challenge up against a Lurrus Frog player. Our hand does not contain a Bazaar. We click the mulligan button. Here's a Bazaar. What would I normally play for a Legacy event? Whatever works. All right, here's a keep. I feel like a Vigor is not very good against Frog, so I'll put that on the bottom. That's a fucking unbelievable. The only way this would have been a better set of draws is if it was Hollow One Vengevine. All right, 6 free power. I should probably don't want to always yield to that. All right, 6 free power with 2 forces on turn 1 on the play. I'm in. Let's see what we can do. My opponent has said, "Who are you and what have you done with Justin?" I actually really like playing this deck. I just don't like facing it. Basic Swamp Thoughtseize me. -2 life for my opponent. I accept. I would like a hollow one because it does increase the clock, right? Because I attack for 6, they go to 8, yeah. Yeah, I'll just keep forcing trap. Don't think I need a trap, to be honest, but... All right. 6. Now, do you have... No, okay. So my opponent is... They can have a Bowmaster, but it's probably not enough. Because the deck's broken. Look how many times I'm winning, chat. Why am I like, Justin, what are you doing? I'm playing a deck. Playing some vintage. All right, this is where it gets hard. What do we bring in versus our opponent here? Do we bring in some hammies? Do we bring in a Krakus? Do we bring in a bunch of Furies? I think the answer to that is all of that is yes. Chalice seems pretty bad. Negations and traps don't seem particularly great. But that makes our blue count real low. I actually have no idea. I haven't played this in a long time. We might want to keep some amount of negations because our opponent will attack us with graveyard-based hate. Let's go look at last list. Seal of Cleansing, Stony Silence, Lavinia, Tabby, 2 spell bombs in the board, Swords, Priest. What if we split the difference here with Vigors and Negations? How many like actual removal spells do I want? I feel like I want all of them. I'll see whenever I want, man. My stream. Yeah, you're right. There was a basic swamp, so it kind of makes it less likely that it's Esper and more likely that it's blue-black. But what does that change for us? It means that they don't have Lavinia, right? So maybe Caracas is less good. I think if they had Lavinia, the Caracas would be worth it between just Lavinia and Lurrus. I'm not actually sure these Hamlets are actually good, but they're here to be tested, right? All right, let's run it back. That's not running it back. Let's just run it. Let's see what we got. This is where the game gets hard. So, game 2. Mulligan or no Bazaar. Powder. Keeping probably a squee. Mulligan. Powder. I'll keep a force and a misstep. Keep. Not bad. Solid hand. Well, that's not good. If they play turn 1 Frog, it's quite bad for us, right? Oh, Thoughtseize again. Interesting. Okay, I mean, your move. What do they take? Hollow one? Probably hollow one. Hollow one gone. Wasteland's in play. And a cage. Okay. Cage does not stop Squee or Rootwalla. It does stop the Vengevine that we drew. All right. All right. That's not bad. I think we're in a decent spot at the moment. Cage only stops Vengevine in my deck. We have an answer to a Lurrus. But we are, and we're going to go Faithless Looting on our Bazaar activations. So we're even on our Bazaar activations. They can have a Bowmaster here, though. I'm definitely not activating right now. Oh, they have a spell? Okay, well, now I'll activate so I can get Bowmastered. Yeah, triple returners is pretty solid. But do I want to play a Root Walla so I have more threats in play? I think so. I'm not sure though. We get wastelanded and then we don't get any value off of our master, really. We don't have a force or anything, so I don't know. Let's see. Opponent knows about One Fury is the only card they still know about. Spell Pierce. Okay. Flow State. Milling Spell Pierce with Sewers to turn on Flow State. Not bad. Surveillance are so broken. And another Wasteland. So Flow State and stock up finding Wastelands is so scary, man. I hate it. Yeah, but I think getting 2 power in play is probably worth it, right? Not the Tabernacle. So Tabernacle, Grafdigger's Cage is quite the combination here. All right. And they buy Lurrus. We have multiple answers for. Okay. We'll pitch our Squee to hand size. We could pitch our Root Wall at hand size, but then we'll die to Tabernacle, so. Flow State, that's pretty good. I guess I could negate it, but feels pretty bad. Maybe I'm just supposed to negate it. Frog with 6 cards in it, 5 cards in hand. Jesus. I don't know. I think it's just looking pretty bad. Furying this thing is not very good. Another Wasteland. Hopefully they play Lurrus so we can at least make a play onto the board here. kind of need... This consign? Oh, ancestral recall. Jesus. Okay. I was gonna say, kind of need, like... I mean, this has to resolve, too, probably. I don't know. Definitely not returning into that cage. The problem is it's just not good enough. They just pitch one card to this frog and we're still losing. I feel like they had too many of the right cards at the right times. We mulliganed a little in this game, but not a huge amount. All right, I don't want to play anymore. I'm off it. Let's go to game 3. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these negations back out. And I'm going to put the vigors back in. And then I guess I will keep one negation. Yeah, this is definitely one of the matchups that made CounterVine go extinct, so. Mulligan. There we go. That's not bad. It's a good 6. 3 squeeze. I mean, it's just triple squee. Hope we don't get wastelanded. All right. We do have a pitch to hand size angle here. So let's do that. Basic swamp. Thoughtseize me. I guess I just mental misstep this to not give them any idea what's going on and keep my force secret. Otherwise, they just take my force, right? Probe. Okay, well, now they know. We have an angle where we can like pitch enough squeeze to hand size that get up to like 10 cards and then pitch like Root Wall, Avengevine. It's probably what we're going to play towards, or just draw a Bazaar, obviously. Basic. Is it a Bowmaster? I think that's just fine. Currently have no way to get to a Bazaar anyways. Not great. And another Wasteland? And a Twister? No, buy a Lurrus. Yeah, I mean, we have to keep any hand with Bazaar, and not all of our hands with Bazaar beat Wasteland, so that's playing CounterVine. That was the exact draw I was looking for, so we go to end step. Rootwalla, Vengevine. Cast a Rootwalla. Cast a Rootwalla. I have a Vengevine now. Pretty cool. They have the one Tabernacle again? One of the best players on the platform. It's crazy work. Oh, I guess they have a Wasteland. They can Wasteland me at any point. Not great. They're not really under their own tab at all here, in my opinion. I can just let this army token go and pay one for Bowmaster every turn if they want. Waste their waste. If they tap their waste, which they did, don't know why they tapped their waste. I would just let this go. I mean, we don't have to make that choice now, so. How many things need to go right for me to win this game? Too many. That is true. We could do it when they're untapped because we have no other lands. I just like don't. I don't know. I don't really see that as what we wanted to do last turn. Isn't it better that they tapped their lands and paid for a thing instead? I don't know. It's all kind of like 0.1%, so it's like really stupid anyways. Because we need to find a Bazaar. Jesus Christ. We need to find a Bazaar and find a Pyrokinesis, and it's just so stupid. All right, whatever. I think I could like put the best 5 cards in the top of my library in a row and we'd lose. See, they're only going to pay for the Bowmaster. Oh, no, they're going to pay for both. All right. I mean, it does clock us, so it's probably fine. All right, just get me out of here. I don't need this in my life. All right, crushed. It's okay. We can play against Sean. That'll be fun. All right, welcome to round 3. Possible Raker Shops opponent. I'm on the play, and I have to powder my opener. And I keep a Bazaar. Oh my lord! Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Show me one hollow one in my top 2 cards. I will take a Rootwalla, but one hollow one. One hollow one, one blue card, please. That works. That is second best. We got one blue card, one even better than a blue card. A Force of Will. All right, 10 free power on turn 1 with a Wasteland and a Force to back it up. Not bad. Deck's pretty good when it does the thing. I don't know, Silver Falcon. It's very much a up for debate question and a very balanced format right now. We finally achieved an average hand. Oh, sorry, not 10 free power. 13 free power. My bad. I sold a short. I did sell a short. 13, sorry. We could have had 17, right? If we had hit, well, actually, if it wouldn't have been a hollow one, right? So we could have had 20 power if we had hit a hollow one. Is that where it was though? Was that where it was, or was that a different place? Maybe it was like a really big county or something. It might have been like a really large county, and we were on like the outskirts of a large county, you know. But you're right. You are right. You saw it. I will never not trust you again. Classic Tibble. It's okay. My triple queuing opponent has decided, you know, this game is probably not worth focusing on. So we can just talk about GeoGuessr while we wait. All right, what do you got for me? You're at 12 life. You're dead on turn 2 here. City of Traders, so you show me what deck you're on. Grim Monolith. Sure. And then what? Tezzeret. I'll just counter Tezzeret. It'll be fine. You die? I probably could just like wait and trap over the top, but this just feels like the best way to get to game 2. Cool. Game 2. I don't know that play is actually correct. I just wanted the game to be over. All right, so we were up against probably Raker Shops based on City of Traders, Grim Monolith, Tezzeret that our opponent showed to us. I like our counter magic in this matchup. I don't really like Chalice on the draw. I like some amount of removal, but like, I don't know how much removal I like. I don't mind Vigor, but it's not like the end-all be-all either. I think we can go like, maybe we just go Chalice and Probe away for some Pyrokinesis as extra insurance against combo. I don't think you're allowed to play a City of Traders in Jewel. More power to them if they do. I think City of Traders is enough for me to just confirm it's Raker, especially with opponent's last registered deck being Raker. So. I'm gonna go with this. I think going deeper into Fury doesn't seem like all of our cards are good. So like this is the classic problem where you play against Raker and none of your cards are bad. You don't have cards to take out against Raker because every card is good against Raker. So it's kind of tough. Where's CRK to tell me I'm wrong? Does anyone not agree with me that like every card is good against Raker, so it's hard to board? I feel like that's not just me, right? All right, Powder is 7. Mulligan. Bazaar. Nice Bazaar hand. Solid Bazaar hand. I'm in. Opponent mulled to 6. I mulled to 6. So I don't have a red card, so I'm kind of down to just pitch the Pyrokinesis, I think. I think it's fine. All right, we got a Force and a Mindbreak Trap in our opener. Is pretty nice versus Raker. Could even just like double trap them, depending on how they play this hand out. Talon Gates as the first card played. Interesting. Talon Gates Soul Ring. Okay. Grim Monolith. Okay. Tezzeret. Trap you. That is very good for us. Mindbreak Trap. Activate Bazaar. Vengevine, Vengevine, Powder. Pass. All right. So if they play like another Tez here and we force it, we have an option of possibly like putting our Force back on top of our library. Yeah, I'm gonna force that. So how do we feel, chat, about just putting a force on top of our library, passing the turn, forcing their next play, and then end step just ditching our hand? This is a Talon Gates of Madara, one of the best lands printed in the last 10 years. Very strong card. It's not that good against us, but sometimes I wonder if we could play Talon Gates in our deck, actually. I haven't seen anyone do that, but it could work. I think I'm interested in just putting this force and passing. I'm gonna put the force back on my top of my deck and draw it and pass. Force their next play, and then go for an end step Bazaar. Ditching my whatever cards I draw. That's probably just fine. I feel like forcing this is like... I mean, it commits to our line, but I don't really like it, you know? I don't know. I could just wait another turn here. That is like the biggest possible punish for the line I took, right? Because, like, I don't want to activate here, but I do need to, like, get as many looks for a wasteland as possible, right? That was really bad. I should probably have just waited and just kept my cards in hand. My fault. It was bad play. I think all the plays I took here were just bad. I don't think like the idea of the force play is bad, but I think the activate at the end of stuff was bad. I don't know, like if I miss on a wasteland, like this activate has to be another Rootwalla or a Squee to be good. Seven Rootwallas and 41 plus 8 Squeeze. 15 and 41 for 2 draws. And it lets me activate an upkeep. I'm activating. Would have been better to wait again, but it's okay. I just kept drawing cards that made it better to wait. Like I hit the squeeze, so like it was actually good, but I think I played this game. I don't know. Trying to make sure it's not just like hindsight. Inventor's Fair. The One Ring. Okay. It's pretty damn good. I'll hold on to this to try to return Vengevines next turn. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but... Also, they are metal crafting to draw gaining a life. I don't know. I don't know. I could have waited on the end step activation. Because if I had waited on the end step activation, I'd have one more card in my hand. I could keep the hollow one. But if I miss on a wasteland, it's super bad, right? That's the thing. Whereas if I don't hit a wasteland on my first activation, it was correct. Because then it gives me another whole activation to find a wasteland. Because I need a wasteland to beat Saga. I either need a wasteland or I need a green card Vigor. God, does my opponent just have... They already have a top, right? So they just have two tops and they win here. Wait, am I confused? Don't they have a top in their like in their hand? Wow, this went so badly. That was so bad for us. And so it was such a good start. My opponent mulligan, we hit him with a trap, and it just went so badly. Should I have forced the sensei stop? We should go back and look at this game at the end. Chat, remind me to go back and look at this at the end. I'm gonna bring Chalice in. I still think this is fine. Kind of want green cards to be able to Vigor. I think Vigor is still good. I want to go back and look at that game. I need to make sure that the things we did made sense. That's a great opener, so that's a good keep. Does Raker have ley lines? Solid hand against ley line too. Let me look at their Raker list actually. No ley lines. Okay. All right. Bizarre. Activate. He didn't hit another blue card, which makes it impossible for us to keep Master of Death. If this Pyro was a Gataxian probe, I could pitch Master of Death. All right. Powder, Vengevine to the yard. We have Force and Vigor up. Mana Crypt. Mox Ruby. Talon Gates. Ring a ding ding. Wish I had a trap, man. Karn was kept in? That's so odd. They kept Karn in. Do we think they left a card like in their yard that in their thing? What? I'm so confused, man. So did they leave like a cage, a needle, or a lantern in their thing instead of putting it in the main? Maybe they left one cage in the board that you can get with Karn, but like all of their hate pieces are tutorable by Tezzeret, so they're better in the main. Like, I guess if this gets a Worm Coil, it's really bad for me. All right, that's probably enough. I think I'm gonna Vigor this shit too, though. I'm just like super surprised to see a Karn. I'm just gonna Vigor these. Doesn't really get a lot better than that. I don't know that I'm supposed to activate here. It doesn't look good. I think I'm gonna hold for one turn to try to build out my mana or my card situation. We're in trouble though. Depending on their mana, I guess. Sensei's top. They have no more mana? Oh, they have no more mana. That's fantastic. All right. This activate looks fine. Yeah, there's a Squee and a Root Walla. Can I hold this Root Walla? Probably not. Probably not. This feels a little too greedy. We got a squee going. We'll get back to it. It's fine. I think with a squee, I don't think it makes sense. But if we didn't have a squee, then might be okay. So they natural drew, and then they spun. Hopefully they don't find like a workshop or anything. I found something. Fair, that's fine. Key, that's fine. Squee is back. Draw for turn is a vigor. Activate is a wasteland. All right, I think I'm down to keep wasteland here. I could consider forcing this Sensei, but that's probably fine because they're just gonna have to play it. I think it's just fine. They have a second land underneath. Black Lotus. I think I'm okay with countering whatever comes off the Black Lotus. The only bad scenario would be like Vexing Bauble, Time Vault. They're just gonna play nothing. I guess they're worried about Trap. Or they want to play Ring. They were just F6 checking me. What a bastard. I'm going to force... Oh, I guess they've already lost their Karn. So I can just negate this. Normally negating this is worse than forcing it because they can get it back with Karn, but we've already countered Karn, so... They F6 checked me. All right, another top. Glad we didn't counter top. All right. We're in a better spot now, so we'll see if it's enough. Definitely just getting squee and drawing. Triple Q F6 check. That's why they're a beast. I think I was F6, by the way. I think I F3'd real quick. I think F6 checking is quite good against me because I am always F6ing to try to make the video smooth without doing any editing. It's actually quite good against me. Okay, my opponent did the F6 check and then went off to play a different game. I still don't know that we're like in a great place to win this game yet. Like it could still go pretty bad. I think there like technically is, but I don't know. It's okay if I got my opponent to think I had nothing. If I had Mind Break Trap there, chat, it would have been huge. The fake F6. What you can do is you could go right click my turn or their turn, yield until here on their second main. So it looks like you F6 through combat. There's a lot of different ways you can kind of play mind games with that kind of stuff. And I think it's all not really very useful / not worth the mental thought. But, that's something you enjoy. You could do it. Yeah. I mean, F2ing is probably better, but I'm one, lazy, two, like I said, I want to like keep the video moving because I don't go back and edit like downtime. So it's things I do that hurt my could hurt me, but not. I don't worry about it. Not worth worrying about. All right, I'm gonna return Squeed in my hand. Activate my Bazaar. Yeah, I guess I'm keeping a trap. Am I keeping a negation for next turn when I have 2 cards? Or I can just hold trap and it's only like, say, like holding 1 card. I feel like I'd rather just hold trap. I don't think trap's gonna get a lot of value, but we have not really found more creatures to make this Vengevine come into play. Like I said, I don't think this game is over yet. Oh, well, I guess there are not lands on the top of my opponent's library. Bro, like, I don't think you're supposed to concede here. You have top, like, key activates to draw through. Like, okay, I mean, this would be quite a decent series of draws, right? So we have 5 cards. We get to keep, we probably keep Bizarre Hollow 1, play Hollow 1, mill 2. It's not even that good. It's really not even that good. That one's pretty reasonable, though. I don't know. The other game's probably more interesting, so. All right, welcome to round 4. We're 2-1 up against another possible Dredge gamer. We need to find a hand that has a Wasteland because we're on the draw. We can't race. This one has a Bazaar. It's going to have to be enough, I think. Can't imagine we're allowed to put this back. But I just don't know that it's going to be enough. I'm just going to get rid of this trap. It's never going to do anything. I don't think holding up force is good. I think I'd rather have a hold up figure. I think this matchup is quite good post-board. It's a really bad game 1 matchup, though. Yeah. I feel like I need to have a Wasteland hand, but I don't feel like I can put away a Bazaar hand, you know? Like, I'm looking for a Wasteland hand, but I can't, like, ask for a Bazaar and a Wasteland. That's probably... Can't really mulligan to that. Icarid Chill Imp. Maybe I am supposed to keep a blue card. That's a terrible card. Well, it's something. Didn't find a Wasteland for next turn yet. This is something, though. It's too many dredges. Might even be too late now. 1 Amalgam, 1 Icarid. Imp. Not a good dredge there. Grief. I don't know that forcing this even does anything. I think it just loses me a card, which I don't want, so I think it's fine. They're probably just taking force anyways to stop us from noxiousing or something. We need to find a Bazaar, a Wasteland in our top 3. I think that's true no matter what. They've hit no chills, and they have 2 Icarids coming. Sorry, they've hit 1 chill. Not that this attack does really helps me at all. I'll take 3, I guess. All right, I need a wasteland. Found a wasteland. Still activating. Found another bazaar. I think I want to hold on to this Root Walla in case we get towards another Vengevine next turn. Well, I think you can win these games. Like, I'm not going to concede game. I hate when people want to concede games too early in games we can win. Like, if my opponent wants my deck list, they can just turn, they can just look at my Mox field or look at my Twitch or look at my Twitter. Like, me hiding game information is one of the most useless things I could possibly do. For me personally, obviously. For someone else, maybe there's some more value there. But I mean, this game is not lost. Like, this is a winnable game. Is this attack good? It's not great. I think we need a tempo, so. If they can miss on some creeping chills, I think there's a chance here, but 2 Icarids is so many. I probably have to hold back on all my Root Wallas for blocks. But I did get rid of an attacking in Narcomoeba, so there's something there. They hit Narcomoeba prized amalgam. That's not good for me. We do have double bazaar though. How much am I going to here? Going to 8. This is gonna have to be multiple stuff. Noxious. I could Noxious and Icarid to the top of their library. No squeeze. It doesn't save 1 life if we play multiple turns, right? Yeah, I think I just disagree with your assessment, especially if we can find a wasteland hand. We already won a game 1 versus Dredge in this tournament. Round 1, game 1, we beat Dredge on the draw. We're probably just gonna die to creeping chills here, I would assume, but I should have done that after I attacked, so they didn't know. But that's okay. I didn't change anything. They did not bring back Icarid. They milled 4. They hit a creeping chill and another Icarid. It's really bad for us. They didn't even attack with the Narcomoeba. All right, we need to hit how many Vengevines? A lot. The answer is a lot. Oh, those were no Vengevines. So I have to not attack to... No, I still die, because I just die because there are too many things. Okay. It was close. I think if we had, like, good RNG and they had bad RNG, like, this is a winnable game. It wasn't, like, super close, but could have happened. All right, we'll bring this in. I think, what did we bring in last time? We brought in everything. We took out, like, all of this. Is that what we did? Or did we bring in just, like, some amount of removal? Is this what we did last time? Must have been. Why does it look so weird then? I feel like this is not what I did in round 1. What did I do in round 1? Oh, I didn't bring in Pyrokinesis. Instead, I kept in 2 forces. 9 blue cards total. Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like that was probably wrong. I feel like I would like to board out all of my forces in this matchup if possible. You do not side out Mental Misstep because you are a Wasteland deck trying to beat Noxious Revival. So I could bring in Hamlet, but it's just not very good. So I guess I just have to have forces because of the mapping. It's kind of annoying. Normally I'd like bring in all my cards and take out all my blue cards is what I do for Vine, but the mapping here is a little awkward. On the play. Yeah, bizarre leyline with things that play through my opponent's leyline as well. It's a great hand. They have a leyline as well. But my deck can play through this leyline a little bit better. We'll just get rid of... I mean, I would have had Avenge Vine here too. It's crazy. Yeah, I literally brought in the Hamlet's last round. We brought in the Hamlet's last round against Wasteland. I think you were here. Bringing them in against Sphere Shops. Basically every Wasteland deck was the plan. It's experimental too, of course. I'm not saying it's good. No, wait. They pitched a hollow one to hand side? Why did they pitch a hollow one? They must have a vigor. They're killing mine, and they're just going to play to the dredge. The only reason you would do this is so you can have vigor, right? I mean, maybe they misclicked. Yeah, it's possible. I think they have vigor. Okay. But what's the one card they want to keep? A second Bazaar, maybe? You would keep a Bazaar over a hollow one. So maybe their last card is second Bazaar. Or I guess maybe a Dredger. I guess that's possible. All right, I'm going to activate in response, see if we find Force or Wasteland. We only have 2 forces in our deck, though. Fury. Not very good. Yeah, I mean, this is bad. Kind of needed to hit Wasteland there. Keep red card Fury and green card. Think we're gonna lose this. It was a Dredger. Okay. Dredge 5. Chill. They hit another Dredger and an Icarid. Okay. I mean, a Wasteland is still pretty winning here. That's pretty interesting as well. So I will pitch Rootwalla, Fury, Squee. Just cast this pre-combat. Let my opponent activate this Bazaar here. An Icarid, Chill, Amoeba. At least we have a hollow one to block Icarid this turn if they bring it back. No reason for them to bring it back. Dredge 5. Okay. All right. Their ley line is down. Upkeep activate. Squeevenge Vine. Not bad. I'm going to attack everyone but the hollowed one so I can block an Icarid, I think. They only have one chill left. Maybe I just leave one root wallet back and try to get as much damage in as possible. How many Icarids they have? They have 2 Icarids. How many Dredgers they have? They have 3 Dredgers. And we're racing. Go with 7 damage. Don't know if that's right, by the way. We'll see. Oh, God. They hit the 4th chill and an amalgam and an Archamoeba. Yeah, all right. I need to hold 2 root walls back. I mean the 4th chill though. Okay, that's not good. Another amalgam and another Narcomoeba. I think I'm gonna die. I mean, I think they'll play around trap, to be honest, so it might just not even matter. It's just too late, man. It's just too late. I feel like we drew the cards in the wrong order. 4 Icarids in my opponent's yard here. Them going through all 4 chills is not ideal. I guess they got 3 of them actually used, but we need to draw a ley line in one of our, or sorry, we need to draw a wasteland in one of our initial things, not at the very end. We're dead on board. Yeah, we're just dead on board. They somehow hit Narcomoeba Amalgam on their natural dredge there. Yeah, it's a GG's. Whatever. Not a good matchup, but you know, it's a winnable post-board matchup. We had a ley line. They just had an immediate vigor, and we did not have an immediate vigor. Ravenous Trap was too late. Wasteland was too late. Just drawing cards in the wrong order, right? Ah. All right, welcome to the round 5 streamer bracket. We've got Sean playing Gifts Control combo thing. Classic Sean, so he leads off with a Lotus. And an Emerald. And an Academy. And a Lurrus. Oh, and a stock up. Sure. I'll trap it. So do we like Wasteland or do we like Bazaar? I think I kind of like Wastelanding here. But I get a lot of value off of Bazaar activation with 2 Masters. And a hollow one. I don't know. Because I can still Chalice for 0 and Wasteland Tolarian. Something. I don't know the answer here. Like, how bad is it for them to have Tolarian here? I feel like it's kind of bad. I'm going to cast this Chalice. I'm going to Wasteland. DT. Yeah, that's for sure. All right, I need a force probably. Noxious. I could bring back another mind break trap, but doesn't seem great. I think we just activate 2 hollow ones. Ooh, this is interesting. Do I want to keep 2 hollow ones, losing all my masters and a revival? Or do I want to pitch a hollow one, have 1 hollow one, and have negation trap? My opponent DT'd last turn. I think I need 2 counter spells. I'm probably getting drained here. No, I'm not getting drained here. All right. Just gifts? Stock up. I'll just negate this thing, man. I feel like we played a little fast and loose here, but Ancestral over the top is what they tutored for. And then Fluster over the top. I feel like this is fine for me, though. Land draw. All right. Return master, draw, activate. Attack with hollow one. I can hollow one. 2 turn clock. Might not be enough. We'll see. They have the red. They have a soul ring. Okay. We're looking for any one piece of interaction. So like another mind break trap or a wasteland, basically. We could also hit. It's kind of it. All right, so they have to kill us here. They can probably do it if they have a gifts. Yeah, they have a gifts. So I assume this just kills us with like Breach and Chain. Can't imagine that we lived through this. We needed one more piece of interaction. We kind of really needed a wasteland off that draw or like a trap or something, but we used 2 traps already. But I mean, it looks like this is a pretty average Sean game, right? Ancestral, Demonic, and Lotus. 2 restricted artifacts. Academy. Close. I don't mind the way we played it, though. I think we just needed 1 trapping over the top of what we had available. Seems reasonable. The only thing that we could have changed, I feel like we could have maybe gone for the activation on turn 1 instead of the wasteland, but I feel like I would have gotten Lurrus, and I don't know if that would have been good for me. But I could have still gone like Chalice first and then gone for a bizarre activation after. So like it's possible that my turn 1 play was wrong. This was also just simply a die roll loss as well. If we're on the play here, we definitely win this game. I don't think it's very close, actually. Our Chalice just crushes him. And we get an activation first. Though I don't know if it gets us to force on the first activation. So I assume this is deterministic, but we have to wait in for him to make the pile, so. I assume this pile is like Chain Breach, Chain Breach. What are the other two cards? Chain Breach, and then two cards he wants, right? But he can't do too much fast mana because there's a Chalice. Merchant Scroll. Time Walk. And Fetch. I mean, I have to put Chain and Breach, right? So is the other two deterministic? If he takes Fetch and Time Walk, he goes Time Walk, buys Lurrus, plays this, breaches back. But then can he have enough mana to chain? Let's see. So 4 mana, 5 mana, 6 mana, 7 mana. Time walking by, and then on the next turn. Yeah. This is deterministic. What if I give him chain and fetch? He has exactly enough. I think he has exactly enough, right? 1, 2, 3 to buy Lurrus, 3 to play Lurrus, 1 to chain. Wait, that's not enough. Chain and fetch. 1, 2, 3. Buy Lurrus, play Lurrus, chain a Chalice. Yeah, that's enough. Chain a Chalice. No, that's not enough. But he could chain a hollow one, and then on the next turn, buy back. All right, so I need to put 2 cards into the yard. I'm going to put in Breach and Time Walk and see how Chain Misty goes. Has another Gifts in Hand as the last card. That's deterministic, right? That just gets 4 pieces of mana or something. Well, what does that do? Or just has a Breach in hand? I mean, it has a Breach in hand. I'm just dead anyways. Chain. Oh, chain to make more mana. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine. I think all of those lines were deterministic. Don't think it would have helped us. He hasn't even fetched yet. And he already has enough. All right, yeah. I mean, like I said, we need to be on the play or have one more piece of interaction, and that game's pretty straightforward. All right. It's really unfortunate because that's a game we really want to win. His deck is not really capable of beating us on the average game 1. It's not really good against the average game 2 and 3 either, but there certainly he has more things going for him in games 2 and 3. I'm just gonna play to. I think I'm gonna play to Ley Lines. I don't actually know that I. How do I board for this? I'm just gonna board out my things. Obviously, this is gonna make my vigors worse, but that's okay. Do I want an answer to Yixid Jailer? I don't think so. Maybe it's this is 12. Seems fine. Maybe I want one answer to Yixid Jailer. Because it also kills Lurrus. Seems fine. Feels good enough. I'm like a little worried about green, but maybe it's okay. I feel like Leyline is good against my opponent's deck, especially when we're tempoing, so... Alright, on the play. 7-card Bizarre hand with a Leyline? Surely. Nope. Nope. I'm gonna lose a lot of hollow ones on this, but I'm gonna powder back a hollow one probably. Half of our hollow ones are gone. Okay, not a good hand. Not a good hand. Let's see how this goes. Bizarre. Activate. Vengevine, Vengevine. It's gotta be one of the lands, right? I don't know about that one, but let's see what happens. If I pitch Fury and he goes like box Jailer, it's really bad is the only problem. Another Lotus draw. If he wants to drain this, I guess it's probably still fine, right? Probably puts a lot of his drains out of his deck in post board. Has the Flusterstorm to protect. All right. 4 cards. I mean, I'm trying to return Vengevines on turn 1. I don't know. Triple Bizarre. Yeah. Those are so bad. I feel like we drew really, really badly here. Am I activating again? I probably am. There's a squee. I think we're just dead. These were like really, really bad sets of draws. It's not going to take much for him to get like Lurrus Lotus going, and then we just probably are going to have a hard time winning. I'm going to do 1 upkeep activation here, and then 1 activation with squee, I think. There's 2 more squeeze. A bunch of squeeze. Okay. I mean, maybe I'll have a force later. I'm pretty sure we're lost here. Is this Lorien revealed? Really? Wow. I'm so surprised. That's odd. Guess he didn't have a land, so. All right, well, if we don't get like our graveyard wiped here, we're bringing back a bunch of squeeze and stuff, so. Always yes, always yield, always yield. All right, well, maybe we have a game on our hands here. Vengevine, squeeze. I missed. God damn. Am I holding Root Walla? No. I feel like I need to have Force Trap up, right? That feels bad. I mean, we're drawing so many cards. It's gotta be fine. Missing there on our Vengevine was not good, though. Maybe this Wasteland's good, though. Alright. I mean, he hasn't drawn a lot of Moxen, so that's helpful. It's definitely helpful. He knows about Force and Master. He doesn't know about this one. Maybe just buys Lurrus this turn. Stock up. Ah, the Ixid Jailer. I mean, if you got Jailer with Force backup, not much we can do here, but we just missed on our one activation that would have won the game on the spot. Sad. And we've already dropped Fury, and we've lost all of our hollow ones, right? We have 2 hollow ones left. Yeah, I mean, this is just bad variance. It's fine. What is our way out? Do we have any ways out? Our only way out is casting hollow ones. So... and more Root Wallas. How many more Root Wallas do I have? I have a lot more Root Wallas. I think I should just play my Bazaar and pass then. Attacking pass. I mean, he just needs to get a Lurrus in play and we lose. Ancestral, yeah. Average. Not a bad one. Oh, Tabby as well. Yeah. All right. I think we can concede from here. We'd have to draw exactly Wasteland first. I think we just needed to hit on the turn that we needed to hit on the turn that we had, but even then we would, I guess, if we would have got Vengevine, our Vengevines would have got Tabernacled. No. I mean, he would have had to Tabernacle and he wouldn't have been able to play Jailer, and then we would have been able to hit again. Yeah, I think it was really close. You know, for how bad our first activations were, our other activations were not that bad. Oh, we had a strip mine as well. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I don't know. This was just some bad variance. Like, his deck is really bad against ours, but the things that, the way that the cards lined up here and the lost die roll in the first one were just tough. I think I like the way we played both games, though. Don't think I have any problems with those. Okay, welcome, 5th and final round. We got another Lurrus, or 6th and final round, I should say. We got another Lurrus gamer, and I don't have a Bazaar. And they kept 7. I will powder. This is a nice card just to powder away. I think I will keep a Vengevine. Nope. All right, 5, 5. We have a negation, which may or may not be any good. Probably isn't any good. I think we need to keep this. I think just assume it's Frog. Pitching these cards with the ability to buy back Bazaar. If it's combo, then we'll regret it, but... Okay. That is also something that we cannot beat. All right, well, we can technically beat this with Vengevines. So I will activate Bazaar, putting Masters and Squeeze away and trying to find Vengevines. But yeah, our whole deck costs no mana, so not good for us. Man, we have been getting bullied today. Bullied. We've been absolutely bullied today. Lost the die roll, got vexing bobbled on the play. Ah, it is combo, though. They got Ancestral off their Thunder Trap Trainer. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Somehow, chat, I don't think we're winning this one either. It's been a rough one. It has not been a good day for squeeing. We started strong. We were 2-1. I don't even think this matchup is that bad. I think this Vexing Bobble is real good against us, though. I could have kept a negation for this Bobble for what it's worth, and I chose not to, so it's a little bit on me, but I don't know. I made some hedges, and they were hedging for the wrong sides. Here's a Vengevine. All right, here we go. So I think I want to keep the Master in the yard, so I'm going to do Vengevine, Master, Rootwalla, and then Hollow one. So obviously they can just have swords at this point, so... Get it countered. Cast this. Get it countered, but at least I have a dude. I feel like this game would have gone really well if I didn't have a Vexing Bobble on the opponent's side of the table, though. The cards we drew were quite good in this game. Like, if we had this kind of draws in our last round, we would have been in a lot better spot. Like, I think we drew really, like on average, this would be quite good draws, so... I assume my opponent will never crack this bobble, but I guess we could technically be pitching with the idea that maybe my opponent will sometime crack a bobble, but... I mean, Bazaar kicked our ass today. I think it's a good thing that this deck is not good, chat. This deck is heinous to play against. Heinous. It's fun to play, though. When this deck was good, it was a nightmare. Gotta hold on to these root walls to bring back my Vengevine in case it gets flamed. I actually think our cards were super good this game. It's really unfortunate that the Vexing Bubble happened. I probably should have held this activation for post attack so that if it's swords, nothing matters. But I probably should not have activated pre-attack so that if my opponent went for a Flame of Venor, I could return my thingy. So I guess it wouldn't have mattered anyways, right? I'd still have to be able to attack on the next turn anyways. So yeah, maybe it doesn't matter. Are they casting just draw cards flame? Oh, Snap Ancestral. I feel like I would hold that for Snap Swords, but I guess they can just Lurrus it back later, so doesn't really matter. PO it back. Oh, we lost this game on turn 1. But again, to be fair, like I'm the one who chose to put negation away. I just think on average, like keeping a negation in your 5-card hand against Lurrus reveal is not good, right? I don't know. Maybe that was a misjudgment. It's possible. I am not infallible. You know, I don't have like trap or force of will if my opponent like does something crazy. But are we on fine? For fun? For content? To beat up on flow state gamers? Why are we on any deck? Why are we on Raker? You know? Doesn't make any sense. Instead, we like played against Dredge and Frog. And obviously Sean on 5 restricted card opener on the play. Average day in the office. Opponent is pitching 2 cards to hand size. Main deck swords too, huh? There are POs. Happens, man. Flow state's too good. I don't know. Wasteland. Why play Magic? It's true. TFT is right there. I actually haven't played much TFT. This set is not super fun, and the next tier 2 tournament is the same weekend as NYC, so I'm really hoping that the LAN event in Las Vegas is the weekend after Italy Eternal Weekend, but we'll see. That would be great. Be really happy to hear that. If it's the same weekend as Eternal Weekend again, I'll be so mad. You refuse to play good Magic? Come on now. Yeah, you can play any Lurrus deck. You can play non-Lurrus. They're all viable, man. Like if you can play Lurrus with or without or Doomsday with or without Lurrus. You can play PO with or without Lurrus. You can play Frog with or without Lurrus. You can play Tinker. You can play whatever, man. Lurrus is just a way to change your matchup spread. People are real weird about Lurrus. I don't know. I don't really get it, but whatever makes people happy. You know, we are almost 30 cards into our deck, and we've only seen one Bazaar. Ooh, Vengevine. All right, I will go Vengevine, Squee, and a Rootwalla. How come I say? I mean, because people just copy paste. I think it's very clear to me that Lurrus Doomsday is worse than normal Doomsday. It's just there's one very good player who plays Lurrus Doomsday, and so then everyone copies him. People just copy shit, man. I think Lurrus Doomsday is not a very good deck. I think Tsubasa Cat's a very good player, but I don't think that Lurrus Doomsday deck is very good at all. Lurrus just makes you better against blue decks and better at playing longer games of Magic. That's all it does. The decks that choose to forgo Lurrus get more powerful cards. Get to play more powerful games. You get to play Mentor and Tinker and Street Wraith. I think like playing Breach without Lurrus is like a little silly because of how well Breach and Lurrus synergize, right? Like I think of the decks where you can choose to forego Lurrus, Breach is not one that makes like a ton of sense. Because of the like I think Lurrus actually is really strong with the card Underworld Breach. Where like Lurrus doesn't really make this deck strong, or it doesn't like super synergize with the cards in this deck. It just helps tilt your deck in a certain axis to beat certain other decks. We have 2 vines left. think I'm gonna activate. Yeah. I think I had to hold back. It's not good. I think this game was actually very winnable. Not with the cards we drew, but like with certain sets of draws, this game was super winnable. Like if we had hit, like our deck is so good against our opponent's deck that if we had hit certain sets of draws, we could still win this game. If we had an early Bazaar with more squeeze, if we had earlier Wastelands, if we had earlier Vengevines, like I kind of think that the cards that we really wanted weren't in our top half of our deck. Yeah, I mean, you can play Esper Tinker with Teferi. Like that's an extremely viable deck right now. Are they cracking bottle? Oh, they have they chain of vapored my thing to attack me to 1. Okay. Could have sacked my Bazaar to bounce Lurrus. Probably wouldn't have gone well. We're still gonna need to hit another. I mean, this game is still winnable. Like if we hit Bazaar and like pitch 3 Vine, like this game is still kind of winnable. I don't think I'm allowed to take a master here though. It took people actually a pretty long time to get Lurrus replayed again in this format. No, I mean, if I was dead to Vexing Bauble, I wouldn't have played out 8 turns of my deck, CRK. I've brought back 3 Vengevines in this game through Vexing Bauble. I can pitch these squeeze to hand size, so. I need to hit better cards here, though, because they can attack for 3. I am dead now. The biggest problem in this game was I drew only 1 Bazaar in my top 35 cards. Because if I had 2 Bazaars to churn through here, I think I'm actually fine. All of, we had 2 of our Vines in the bottom 25. We had 3 Bazaars in the bottom 25. We had like 4 Squeeze in the bottom 40. No, we had 1. We used 1 Vine. They got swords. I mean, at some point, my opponent can like block with Mage and then rebuy Mage with Lurrus to swords. Like, there are plays here. I'm not saying like we're winning like all, like I'm just saying that there are reorderings of our library that give us a win in that game because opponent's deck is like very anemic with a Vexing Bauble in play. I'm gonna bring in this. I don't really want to bring in Caracas. I think we're just like, the thing is we're just main boarded for this matchup. The only thing is I just didn't have, like I bottomed the negation on our 5 card keep on the draw and opponent had a bobble, right? Like that's just kind of how it was. Yeah, I mean, there's like almost always outs. I don't know if I really want to make any changes here. I don't really feel like any of these cards are particularly good against my opponent's deck. So like all of our good cards for the matchup are in the main. This is historically one of the better matchups for our deck. Opponent just happened to have their main board Vexing Bauble. That's good against us. I think overall today we ran a little on the cold side. We had a couple activations that were pretty good in the earlier stages of the tournament, but overall, like, we had that one really strong game where we had a 13 power start. We had that one strong game where we drew, like, we activated and we drew Force of Will Vengevine. That was a really strong one. All right, this is a solid 6er. Should just be a powder to the bottom, and we'll probably end up pitching a Bazaar, but we'll see. Because opponent doesn't attack our Bazaars here. They mold the 6. Do we? I mean, I think we're favored against almost all the non-wasteland decks in the format, right? Yeah, I would say so. I don't know, do you not agree with that statement? I think it's a pretty reasonable statement to make. That's like, our deck is like made to exploit decks like Lurrus PO, Lurrus Breach, Tinker. That's what this deck was made to do. You're playing Delver. You're playing 0 mana Delver, you know? All right, we're definitely losing our second Bazaar here. 2 hollow ones and a Force. I mean, if you've been watching the stream for a long time, you remember when I used to play lots of Tinker POs and stuff like that, right? This was by far my worst matchup in every single time. So this is 9 power. I'm gonna force and protect this here. I don't think my opponent has like very many strong draws that we need to hold the force for, so I would rather just pressure my opponent. Like Lurrus PO is not a super powerful deck. It can have super powerful draws, but in general, I think on average, my opponent's 4 cards that they have left here are just not going to be good enough. And so I'd rather hedge against my opponent having like a Tundra Swords and like having 4 swords in their deck. That's what I would want to hedge against here. Basic Island. Tormod script, yeah. So they have a Vexing Bauble. And we have 9 power, so they should probably crit my my squee, but I can draw Strip Mine and Wasteland. I don't really want them to crypt all of my squeeze. I guess I will try to hold one and see. I can't do that. There's a Vexing Bauble in play. Vexing Bauble just counters every spell in my deck. The only thing you can do through Vexing Bauble is play lands and reanimate Vengevines. But we don't need to. We have 9 power in play, so. All right, they're dead. Like I said, I think this matchup is quite good. We just got turn 1 bobbled in game 1. Vexing Bobble is certainly part of the reason that you haven't seen as much CounterVine in the last few years. We were on the play. Okay. I'm definitely keeping this. I like this hand. This hand's great. I feel like if we had more of these hands across the day today, we would have been in a better spot. This is the kind of hand you're really looking for as a Vine player. You're looking for a turn 1 free, 5 or 6 power, a counter spell. If this powder was like a squee, then I feel like it's quite good too. All right, I'll keep versus my opponent's 7 as well. Black Lotus. Yeah, a lot of Vine's power is wrapped up in like how many cards you're allowed to keep, like how many times you have to mulligan. I'm thinking about negating this. I'm gonna negate this. think it prevents like a lot of really bad scenarios. We'll see. I don't got force back, so no choice. See what we'll get. See what happens to us. Force pitching negation. They kept in negation versus us. This is a blank card, chat. Don't keep in negation. I mean, they might have boarded in negation depending on their build. This is Magic the Gathering Online, Boba. Your 20-year-old place to play any format of Magic. All right, what are we doing with a Black Lotus? What are we doing with a Black Lotus? Red. White. Red, white. 4th Airlingas for 2? Banger. Yeah, this is not Arena. You get to play more formats here, but it does cost money and you can earn money. So that's kind of the basic gist of it. I don't know that this 4th is that good against us, chat. It's an interesting line. We'll see how it goes. All right. Bazaar of Baghdad. Activate Bazaar of Baghdad. Wow. Okay. Unfortunately, I have to pitch 2 Root Wallas to trigger this Vengevine. But I'm going to draw a lot of cards later. And we're going to become the Monarch. We can't hold the Monarch this turn, but even taking it away for 1 turn is quite good. No, we have no interaction yet. But we have a really strong Bazaar now with 2 squeeze. We want to see like more Wastelands and Bazaars. We want to see some forces. Maybe we can draw force off of this Monarch. Would be pretty sick. Trap is not the end of them. You know, not amazing, but it's okay. This will be an interesting game. Will I trade 2 Root Wallows for a soldier? If they only attack with 1 soldier, absolutely. If they attack with both soldiers, I'm not sure. It's a lot harder if they attack with both soldiers. But I might. They trample CRK. We are definitely not blocking both. I think I need to not block, and the reason is because if my opponent has Swords to Plowshares, they could stop us from getting the Monarch back. So I'm going to take 4. All right, what do you got for me, opponent? 4 cards now. You're the Monarch. We're rumbling. This is like, oh, no land. Okay, so I think my opponent has a Swords then. So let's draw. Vigor. Activate. 3 cards. Okay. So I'm going to hold on to Master so I can have Negation up. And I'm going to go Squee, Root Walla, and I think just as many Blizzards as possible is better than holding open Vigor. And then I'm going to attack with a Vengevine and a Root Walla. Just to make sure we steal the Monarch. I guess there's kind of no reason not to attack with the 3rd one, because I can't, like, 2-in-1 block anyways. So there's just kind of no reason not to. Gotta get damage into. Yeah, I think Colt leaving back Vine doesn't make it. I think it's like pretty straight up that my opponent has a Swords. So I feel like that was a face-up play. I don't know. This is not bad though. Like we gained 4 life back. We're still the Monarch again. We've got negation. Now we have force. Okay, I think we're winning from this spot. This time I will definitely trade off 2 Root Wallas for a token. Five cards. Maybe I won't. I'm attacking for 4 on the swing back with a force. It's a 3-turn clock. I feel like I'm not actually supposed to double block. 1? Okay, 1 I will double block. We've been over this. That is acceptable. This looks really good for us. This looks very, very good for us. We don't even have to attack anymore. Cool. Cool. What do you got for us? Paying costs. Soul Guide Lantern eats a squee. Don't like that. Don't like that. I'm gonna negate this. I think this is my engine, and I think if I keep my engine in play, I'm gonna be pretty happy. Cool. I'm gonna get rid of this, and this, leaving open force and force, and playing a hollow one. Draw an extra card at the end step. I could put force back on the top of their library if I wanted to. Interesting idea. Kind of like it. I could put freaking 4th Airlingus back on the top of their library as well. That might even be better. Take 2 to time walk you. And then every turn we get back 2 squeeze. I'm thinking we're cooking. I love the Monarch. The Monarch is a pretty nice card to have as a Bazaar player, huh? Everyone should be the Monarch at some point, right? Coming in? So if they have a removal spell, they can trample over. I have a force. I could just triple block. And then I lose 2 Root Wallas. That's fine. I think guaranteeing they get rid of their 1 creature is just the best outcome here. Even if they swords this hollow one now, it doesn't even matter, right? Like, I think I might even let swords on hollow one resolve, because who cares? Vexing Bobble. Yeah, I don't really want that to happen. But even if it does happen, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay. All right, so get these back. All right. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And we can attack now, no problem. All right. Who attacks to win? Chalice on 0? Not bad either. I could have put the Force on top of their deck with the Revival there. Might have been correct again. Might have been correct again. Then they'll force my Chalice, and I don't know if I want that either. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll probably do it this turn. Because all we really don't want them to draw is, like, land Thunder Trap Trainer, right? Yeah, if Chalice resolves, Lotus on top is good, too. Another Bazaar? Love that. Oh, it's so beautiful, chat. It is. So this is the deck working at peak perfection. I don't know that I need another one, though. So I guess I don't need this Vigor, so I guess we can keep it. This gives me Force and Trap up. I'll probably do it on their turn. It does kind of, it could cause a problem if they have, like, Portable Hole, but they shouldn't even have Portable Hole in anyways. If I, like, put Lotus on top. It's the swords. Chain. Yeah, that's fine. Nice. Very, very nice. No, they do have Portable Hole. All right, I'm gonna force it. They've had Negation and Portable Hole in their deck. It's fine. No problem. Even if they forced back, then I could just trap the Lotus, so. All right, let's draw 4. Mew. Almost at the point where I can't do any more Masters. They might die here. Oh, we need. Oh, oh yeah. They. Okay. Squee. Squee. I guess I'm pitching. I guess I'm keeping a squee. Let's just pitch a Bazaar, and I'll pitch one of my Wastelands. That'll make them happy. All right. I will Wasteland you. I will play a hollow one. I have no Vengevines in this game. Just pure golems. Man, having the Monarch. Woof. Oh, the Monarch. Oh, you shouldn't have. All right. Top 19. Unlucky. Only 133 got top 16. Yeah, it was a fun day at the office. We had a good time. So yeah, I mean, this day almost went as expected. Like, we split our Dredge matchup, which makes, you know, I can kind of see it. We beat up on Raker, obviously. We had a rough match versus Frog. And then I just think, like, the real kicker here was just, like, Sean draws and losing the die roll. Because this could have been a solid 4-2 day. but a pretty good performance. I'm not unhappy. I think we made some pretty cool choices, and we had some interesting games. So they got that going for us. Yeah. So what do I think about Vine in general? I think it has all the same problems that it still had before. Like playing against Bowmaster, Frog, Wasteland, Deck is a goddamn nightmare. And if you can dodge that deck, I think you actually have decent matchups into a lot of what's going on in the field. Now, can you do that in an actual 6-round tournament? Not really. So it's probably not worth playing. But if you can catch a weekend where you're like not playing against Wasteland decks, this has a lot of power still. That being said, everybody has Vexing Baubles, and Vexing Bauble is a nightmare. So we try to avoid the Vexing Baubles. What else? I think this Hamlet idea is like just, I kind of think it's just not a very good idea. I would rather just play 2 Ravenous Traps, make the Dredge matchup even better, play the solid 14 card sideboard where you bring in 14 cards and take out all the blue cards versus, or take out 13 blue cards versus the Dredge matchup. That's how I would go about it. But I think the main is perfect. It's beautiful. Look at that. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So June would be pleased. I don't know. This deck is still fun to play. It is, of course, not very fun to play against if you are a deck that can't beat it, which are you know, a sizable. It's just got a very polarizing matchup spread, and that's how we gotta do it. Are the squee to support sideboard cards? No, the squeeze are your main, how your deck works. Your deck is, you are offsetting the card disadvantage of Bazaar by getting squeeze and masters. So, yeah. That's what we're doing. That's what we did, and we had a good time. So, it was fun. More vintage content on this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.